Back ACC road sweeps at Wake Forest in Virginia. Atlantic, both these teams. Miller stays out there. He came on in relief of Hennessy in the 6th inning and allowed no further damage after Seminoles
He's having a better feel for his pitches. He's establishing this fastball.
To keep an eye on. 0 for 3 night for the junior out of Ewing, New Jersey. So no doubt he has enjoyed the weather since moving to Florida in the wintertime.
Like he's true. Since 1978, Tim Beret has been a constant presence in telling the story of Clemson athletics by promoting the accomplishments of student athletes, coaches, and staff. He received the highest honor in his profession last summer when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame for the College Sports Information Directors of America. On July 1st, he will retire after 40 years of service to Clemson athletics. As a token of our appreciation and for all you've done for the baseball program and Clemson athletics, Coach Monty Lee is presenting a number 40 jersey. Thank you, Tim Beret.
And they presented Tim with that jersey you see right there with the number 40 on it. So Dabo Sweeney in the football program gave him a golf cart adorned with the Clemson paw and the orange and purple. And now he's got the baseball jersey. I don't know, maybe Brad Brownell will give him 40 basketballs to honor his year's service, because, of course, basketball, he also worked as the color analyst on the telecast all these years. On the broadcast, the radio broadcast, I had the pleasure to work 11 years in that capacity with him. And great all-around guy, and a guy who will be doing some great things in the industry still. He's going to work with NBC's golf coverage behind the scenes, and I'm sure he'll still make various contributions to the Clemson cause. We start things out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Jordan Green, the Clemson DH, 0 for 2 on the night. Getting ahead in the count here, 2-0 against the freshman righty Van Eyck, who got out of that bases loaded jam without allowing any further damage. The close down that way when the snow falls anywhere in the southeast.
If it snows in Florida, it's shutting down.
Yeah,
it's like that's going to happen. We shut down here pretty much.
I was going to say, it's not really that different in this in this part of the southeast either when it comes to that. 0-2, the runner at first, Durr, is not a stolen base threat, and you might want to run him into Mike Martin to try to get him in scoring position. Salvatore to right field. Beer turned to his left, now back to his right for out number 3.
Elevating, but also moving in.
After this.
Takes a fastball from Miller that misses in.
Only just 3 walks allowed on the season coming into this relief appearance. And the leading base on balls team in the nation has yet to draw a free pass tonight. So the Tigers have done impeccable work there. Little chopper, and charging is Cromwell, throwing and gets him at first. And I got to be honest with you, for a leadoff man, Wells, I thought I'd see a little bit better speed getting down the line. I don't know if he's been gimpy at all, but
it looked like he slipped out of the box. Kind of stumbled when he hit it, almost like he hit it off his foot.
There you go.
But still a good play from Cromwell. The angle on that throw, he was almost, towards home plate.
He does move a man into scoring position as Albert moves up to second, but now 2 away. So here's Luke, who has struggled as far as the batting average goes this year, but he's 1 for 4 tonight, and he is a tough out. And I don't believe that Ryan Miller will be the one to face him. In this case, you would suppose that the call to the bullpen will be for Riley Gilliam, who has been on fire of late, and he will come in a non-save situation. But the Tigers will count on him to get a final out of the 9th and get this to the bottom half, all tied up. Back after this.
I am free. live TV you love. No bulky hardware, no satellite, no annual contract. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Riley Gilliam on for the 19th time or the 20th time this season, and an opportunity to be in line for the win. He will not come into a save situation. Of course, last weekend establishing that Clemson benchmark, first pitcher ever to get a save in each game of a 3-game series. You like the numbers that he has demonstrated this year. You look at the ERA, and again, strikeouts to walks and strikeouts to innings pitched are always so huge, especially for a relief pitcher.
You're going to have to get strikeouts if you're the closer on a staff. Gilliam, the guy who's going to come in. He has the velocity on his fastball, but also has a good feel for a big breaking ball that he gets a lot of guys to either take or swing and miss.
He will face Jackson Luke for Miller. Good job to come in and put out the fire in the 6th, limit the damage. He did allow the leadoff homer to Albert in the 7th, but a solid body of work. 3 innings, as it turns out, for Miller with just the 1 run allowed. Gilliam had 2 appearances against Florida State a year ago, covering 3 1/3 innings. He picked up the Tigers' lone win in that series in Tallahassee in mid-April of 2017. And in those appearances, he did not allow a run. Keep in mind, Luke is their team leader in home runs with 10. The Florida State team that's really picked up the power over the last 7 weeks or so.
This is a good fastball in the inner half of the plate.
Albert the runner on second. Wilkie does a nice job of the backhand. The count's 2-1. A couple of dangerous hitters coming up next. A lefty hitter, Appling, and a switch hitter, Raleigh. If Luke is able to extend this inning.
And all you need is a single from an offensive mindset to drive that run in.
Heat that time, 95 miles an hour.
An elevated fastball up in the zone, and there you see the velocity.
Got him. Back-to-back 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. Riley Gilliam comes in, faces one batter, and retires him, and will head to the bottom of the 9th. The score remains even. The Tigers and Florida State tied up at 2 apiece.
Technology moves fast.
Ball, but you see the Tigers
off Florida State 2-12-0. The Tigers 2-5-0. It's been a really good game. Well pitched. We've seen some fine defense. Were it not, in fact, for a couple of significant plays, one by the Tigers' Patrick Cromwell, the other a throw by Stephen Wells, then the outcome would have been decided by now. But those plays that came in the 5th inning, both denying the other team a run. Extra inning games this year, each team about to play its 4th, and both the Tigers and Florida State are 2-1 in extra inning ball games this year. Red Applin, the first baseman, who's 2 for 4 in the night, will lead things off here in the 10th inning for a Seminoles team that they started the year 14-0, their 4th best start in program history. They've gone 17-14 since. They did take 2 out of 3 against Miami. And Riley Gilliam out there for a second inning of work. Starting on Applin with a strike. And on the year, they've had some interesting occurrences. They played a game at Fenway Park against Boston College as part of their 3-game series in New England. They went 0-3 against their rivals Florida, but those were some tightly contested ball games. And of course, that's really never any loss in valor in that, especially this year, as Florida's a top 5 team. Chopper, Bird, and he can't pick it up.
This was going to be a tough play for Bird, moving away from first base. Just misplays it, and now you have a leadoff guy on.
And they'll score it a single, so we still have not had an error in this game. Applin over at first, 3 out of 4 on stolen bases on the year. That was going to be tough, and even if he does field cleanly based on the angle he would have had to throw, or even if he's able to plant, just doing that would have probably been the split second that would have allowed Applin to get to first. But a dangerous batter, perhaps the most dangerous in this lineup, which has some good ones, Cal Raleigh.
And he's had some good at-bats today.
Oh, that was mighty close. Well, Williams thought for a second he had him.
Quick move to first base. It looks like he just made it back.
Yeah, tight play right there. Similar to the throw that almost got Sam Hall earlier in the game. Evans. That strike delivered that time. First pitch to Raleigh, the scoreboard. I looked up and I saw 2-2, and I thought, wow, what did I miss? But it's 0-1 on Raleigh, who on the night has a couple of singles, also flied out to right and struck out. And now the count is even.
And a fastball just missing up in the zone right here. A good take by Cal.
Pitch skied out of play. This count goes 1-2. Told you about Riley Gilliam and his work last week against Virginia when he got saves in each of those games. That's ball 2.
And the thing I've liked about Riley tonight is he's locating this fastball. He's getting ahead in counts, and he's sticking to it. You see the velocity. He's sitting low, mid-90s, but he's also elevating and then using the breaking ball when he has to.
Again, chasing the runner back. Gilliam's 4th career appearance against this Seminole team. 2-2 to the catcher, and the count will go full 3-2.
And you have to think the runner's going to be on the move just to stay out of a double play and try to get into scoring position. Probably a risk that you're willing to take.
Runner going, and that's ball 4, so first and second to start things out here in the 10th for this Florida State team. And that walk, the 41st this year, to tie Raleigh with Applin for their team lead as Mendoza comes up. He's going to get a word from the third base coach. And on the night, I want to say that's the first walk that has been issued to a Florida State batter. The team leading the nation with nearly 300 walks on the season.
And this pitching staff has done a good job of throwing strikes. Now you're in a situation where you're probably going to see a sacrifice bunt.
So here's Mendoza. Leading hitter on their team, only batter over 300 in the season, but the book says he probably should try to move him up. Instead, he swings away and he pops it up into left field where Jolly calls for it, and that's out number 1. You a bit surprised they had him swing in that situation?
It's all an instinct call. If you have a feeling that a guy's going to go in there and put a good swing, you let him go for it, but didn't pay off for him right here. You would like to get out of a double play. Now you give him a chance to get a ground ball and get out of this inning.
And you do have a couple of righties due up in Durr and Salvatore with a hard-throwing righty on the hill, so maybe Mike Martin thinking lefty on righty there might be his best opportunity to.
But you also have Mendoza, a guy who has the highest batting average on the team, so probably playing towards that, just trying to see if he can come through. Probably a guy Mike Martin felt pretty comfortable letting him swing the bat.
Durr's taking strike 1. William coming on and getting the strikeout of Luke to close things out in the 9th. A single and then issuing a walk to start out the 10th with that pop out to left. Going to work through a clean 10th inning as far as the run column goes. Beautiful off-speed pitch to get ahead in the count 1-2.
And there you see the big breaking ball. This is a good pitch in a big-time situation, located well right over the outer half of the plate.
Tiger pitchers with 5 strikeouts in this game. Make it 6. Durr swings and misses, goes down on strikes for the first time. He'd had hits his past 2 times up. That's out number 2.
Fastball late in the count. Gomes able to get a swing and miss. And he just looks so much more comfortable with his fastball and throwing it in some pivotal counts and getting some swing and misses.
Mike Salvatore, the shortstop, 0 for 4 on the night. Another off-speed pitch delivered by Gilliam.
A nice breaking ball.
Gilliam out of Kennesaw, Georgia. Have an opportunity to potentially pitch in his hometown when the Tigers visit Kennesaw State. Coming on the 15th. Not sure that Monty Lee would use him in a midweek game, especially with an ACC series to begin 2 days later, but still be neat for him and friends and family to be back in the home area. We had several Tigers are, of course, from the Atlanta area, so Clemson without the benefit of having a series at Georgia Tech this year, giving those guys a home game, if you will, on their first ever visit to Kennesaw State. They're in Cobb County, just north of the Atlanta Beltway. Runners at first and second. A foul tip into the glove of Wilkie to even the count at 2-2. So Salvatore.
And another good fastball.
Shortstop for Florida State. Trying to deliver here, but Gilliam 1 strike away from getting out of a first and second jam with no one out. Thought about it. The count goes full, so the runners will be on the move with this pitch.
The runners are going to be on the move. You have to be thinking a fastball here. And a big-time pitch late in this game.
Fouls that one away. Salvatore has driven home 21 on the season. 2 out of 11 in their series against Miami last weekend. Obviously facing Clemson pitching tonight for the first time in his career. Started his collegiate career at Northwest Florida State Junior College. Again, a 3-2 pitch, and that's ball 4, and that'll load him up. With Bornegal, the left-handed hitting designated hitter, coming up to the plate.
And a good at bat right there. Battled back, took some close pitches. Looks like Andrew C. is going to come out and chat with Riley. A big-time moment in this game with the bases loaded.
A hit and 2 walks in the inning for Florida State to load them up. Bornegal coming up, hitting below 200 on the year. But he has driven home 14 on the season. And he had 2 hits and 6 at-bats and a run batted in last weekend when they took 2 out of 3 against Miami. See some activity in the Tigers bullpen. Holding his glove is Matt Clark. Tigers also have Owen Griffith getting loose. So here's Bornegal, 0 for 2 since he came on to pinch hit for their initial DH, Kobe Johnson, and he takes ball 1. And again, don't lose sight of the fact, even though it took them into the 10th inning to draw their first walks of the game, Florida State leads the nation in being patient. 285 walks on the year coming in. And ripped, but not hard enough. Davidson right there. Really a lazy liner to the Tigers shortstop to get the Tigers out of the bases loaded jam in the top half of the 10th inning. Florida State was knocking on the door. They can't knock it down, so we'll head to the bottom of the 10th. Tigers another opportunity to walk this one off here at Doug Kingsmore. For the Seminoles. And Beer ripping one left center field. 13 and 10. And 3 back in the loss column of the Tigers, so they obviously need to at least win this series, if not get a sweep, to have a chance to win another ACC Atlantic Division crown. But again, once you get to the tournament, it is a whole different story. I would suppose when you stepped on the field in ACC tourney play, Kyle, you certainly felt a different mindset. Here comes Reese Albert, and here's what he did a couple of times up ago back in the 7th inning. A home run to lead things off. Albert's 4th on the year, and in fact, he is having quite the night. The freshman for the Seminoles, a perfect 4 out of 4 with 3 singles to go with those. With that long ball, and he has 4 of their 13 hits.
He's locked in right now. Every swing he's had, he's hit a ball hard. A guy that you probably want to steer clear of. He just has things going in the right direction.
Riley Gilliam coming on in the 9th inning, stays out there to start things out in the top half of the 11th. Now you start wondering what his availability would be like for Sunday or Monday. And puts one across for strike 1.
He's at 32 pitches. Probably could rebound for Monday, but definitely going this deep, he'll be out of it for tomorrow.
Ball's behind here 3-1, but this time of the year, it's really not the worst thing because, again, once you get to that ACC tournament and the NCAAs and maybe eventually all the way to Omaha, you're going to need guys to be able to have quick turnarounds, and he fights back to get the count full at 3-2.
And that's why starting pitching is so important. If you have a starting pitcher who goes deep into the game, you can save your bullpen and save those quality arms for when you need them the most and keep them fresh, most importantly.
And a called strike 3. Albert thought about it. The umpire took care of it for him.
This is a well-located fastball, a good pitch, right on the black inside corner of the plate.
3rd strikeout, or I should say the 4th strikeout recorded. I was right the first time. The 3rd strikeout recorded by Gilliam since he came on. He struck out the only batter he faced, Luke, in that 9th inning. You got Durr in the 10th, and now Albert here in the 11th, top of the order. And Stephen Wells, who with a slow roller to Cromwell his last time up. thinking bunt, instead taking a strike. Off-speed pitch and a good one. And Gilliam ahead of this batter, 0-2.
Another good breaking ball. Riley continues to get ahead in counts.
Might have overthrown that one a little bit.
Just a waste pitch.
Off speed, but stayed a little bit too inside.
Maybe a little up in the zone. Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Gilliam's 2-2. Stays that way.
Wells just fights off this fastball. Doing everything he can to try to get on base. It's been a challenge though today.
Again, a 2-2 pitch. Wells thought about it. You saw Wells 0 for 5 in the game. It's a 13-hit night for this Florida State team, but it has not been evenly distributed. There's some guys who have seen their batting average take a hit by taking the collar tonight, while others have, like Albert, who've probably raised it by, 20, 25 points with their efforts tonight. And Sky on the left side, but a good out of play.
I was about to say, Albert has 4 hits tonight, swinging a hot bat. Applin, 3 hits.
Cal Raleigh has a couple of hits in the game. Payoff pitch. And that one stays fair, and a good job by Williams, and he'll take care of himself. It just got over the bag fair. And Chris Williams, he's been busy throughout this game. He made a really nice over-the-shoulder catch, running in foul territory along the right field line earlier in this game, and that time, good job to stay with the ball.
And they have the infield and no doubles. What that means is you have your corner infielders hugging the line. For exactly that case, if one shoots right over the bag and gets down into the corner, you have a runner in scoring position. Chris Williams was playing in the perfect spot and able to get in front of this ball and make a nice play.
2 outs in the inning, no one on for Luke. He was the first strikeout victim of Gilliam, who came on with a man on second and 2 outs in the 9th, and got a very dangerous switch hitter in Luke to strike out. He's gone down on strikes a couple of times tonight. It was also robbed of a potential RBI double by Cromwell back in the 5th. And he sees the count even at 1-1.
A breaking ball down in the zone. Looks like it's a little off the plate.
That off-speed stuff has been working beautifully tonight for Gilliam. He's ahead in the count once again at a batter.
He has a good feel for this curveball right now. He's able to throw it for strikes, keeping it low down in the zone.
And the count goes 2-2. So Gilliam now coming up on 50 pitches, and as you say, certainly would not be available tomorrow, and I would hope for maybe a turnaround opportunity on Monday. And that one hits Luke. Obviously not what Gilliam wanted to do right there, and a 2-out base runner for the Seminoles here in the 11th.
And now what you want to do, especially when you have the count in your advantage.
Third batter that Gilliam has hit this year, just a pitch that came a little bit too inside. 5th time this season that Luke has reached on a hit by pitch. brings up Applin, who's had a nice night with those 3 hits. Remember, Luke was out on a strike him out, throw him out double play, trying to steal second back in the 7th. Lone double play turn tonight by the Tigers. Florida State has turned 3. Applin right field, and Beer diving. Did he come up with it? And yes, he did, says the first base umpire, as Seth Beer, charging in, was able to reach down and get the glove on that one. Let's see if Florida State wants them to take a look. We're going to take another look, but a great play by Beer. I thought that was going to get down in front of him.
And it's a risky play with a runner on first base going in after this ball, and it may have hit the ground. If we can get another look at it.
I don't know if he trapped it or not. Yeah, I think that's going to be a trap. It looks like it hits just in front of his glove, but let's see what they have to say. And it may be so close they can't. It looked like just in front of the leather of his glove it might have bounced in there.
It looked like it bounced up in there.
But it might be one of those situations where they don't have enough evidence to overturn it, because out was the call. And it's always difficult in these kinds of situations, because you'll position the base runners if the call is overturned, I guess, at first and second. You'd have an argument if you were Florida State that perhaps
I don't think he would have gone
probably would not have tried to go to third, but it could be first and third. Let's see. It looks like it just skipped
I think he would have made it to third with the dive. This is the risky play about coming in and fielding this ball, and you have to credit Seth Beer. He didn't make the catch, but he kept the ball in front of him.
Yeah,
so the danger,
right in front of the glove.
The danger is if that kicks away, then your runner's going to score from first base.
So they are underneath taking a look. And look at that, right?
Yeah,
it hits the ground and bounces right up. It was sinking so fast, I'm surprised that Beer made it that close. It's a real credit to the Tigers right fielder. I thought it was going to bounce at least once or twice before he was even going to be able to come up with it.
Well, it's just such a tough play. One of those in-between balls that, sometimes you just have to let fall because the risk of diving and missing it isn't worth, I guess, the reward.
And they have yet to emerge. I think, though, the video showed them pretty concrete evidence. And now the discussion could be what's keeping them. Where do you position the runners on this play? And here come the umpires, and the call is going to be safe. And now they're going to position the runners at first
and second.
And I have a feeling Mike Martin we're going to see the Florida State head coach come out and complain about that, because again, his thought is, I've got a guy over at first and Luke who's got some pretty good speed. He
would have made it
running
to third
on contact with 2 outs. He's going to make it to third. He wasn't going to score, but he really should have been. And they probably just need to make it etched in stone clear in those situations. You get the benefit of a guy hitting safely, and by the way, that was the 4th hit in the game now for Applin, but they've got to probably come up with a consistent way to determine, because again, what's to say that they shouldn't have it on first and third right now?
It is kind of challenging. They end a bad break. I would assume the rule is whenever you call the out, the play dead, the runner stays where he is, but from my vantage point, it looked like he kept moving second base.
Yeah, Luke kept moving as the out was called. But here's the deal: using common sense, you're running on contact with 2 outs. Common sense tells you would have had, and it's not. Again, that's not a 250-pound guy who can't move. That's a speedy guy who easily would have gotten to third. But you could also argue from the Clemson standpoint, maybe Beer comes up, makes a bullet of a throw, and they
trips
gun him
over
down
second
at third.
base, and they tag him out.
You just don't know. But nonetheless, the table is set, albeit with 2 outs, a man in scoring position for the very dangerous catcher, Cal Raleigh. A couple of hits on the night and an RBI. Walked his last time up, and he takes strike 1.
Good fastball on the outer half of the plate. And Raleigh's a guy you don't want to make a mistake to. He can make you pay.
So Swings through a high fastball that time. Wilkie hangs on for strike 2.
A nice fastball up in the zone.
Oh-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. No, a foul tip. It looked like Wilkie had held on, but he dropped it just barely came close to.
And he just got a piece of it.
Yep, just got a piece. And so out of the mid it came. From my angle initially, I wasn't looking at our front view. It looked like that was a little deeper into Wilkie's glove. Good speed at second base and Luke, and obviously the runners will be on the move. On contact. 0-2 pitch. Stays inside. And you just look at all the stories inside of a game, and again, a guy standing at the plate who had things played out differently. He'd be the guy right now crouched down where Kyle Wilkie is. Cal Raleigh actually intended to come to Clemson, and so just all the different storylines, and there's one right there. Riley Gilliam coming through with his 4th strikeout just when he needed it most. He gets Raleigh looking, second time of the game that Cal Raleigh goes down on strikes, and that denies the Seminoles a chance to continue the inning and perhaps take the lead. So we head to the bottom of the 11th in a 2-2 game. Batting averages were the Mendoza line. If you were looking in from the outfield, this is what we would look like to you here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium as we move to the 12th inning. Tigers will keep Riley Gilliam out there. He came on and put out the fire in the 9th and has followed that up with 2 good innings of work, and Clemson hoping now for a 3rd full scoreless inning delivered by their closer. He will face Drew Mendoza, top hitter on this team. You know, it's interesting. Drew Mendoza, the sophomore who was a freshman All-America, has the last name Mendoza, and anyone who's been around baseball for a long time or played the game in the major leagues is familiar with the term the Mendoza line. And it's just quite ironic, if you will, that a guy who leads the team at hitting is of the same last name. He's no relation to the infamous Mario Mendoza, an infielder for the Pirates and Giants back in the 70s. And if you ever heard the term Mendoza line and wonders where that came from, well, back in the days when newspapers every Sunday, and maybe some still do, used to publish the batting averages of each league, as that one's fouled away, and count goes 1 and 2, and you'd open up, and if you look forward to it, pre-internet and that kind of thing, you couldn't wait till the Sunday batting averages came in your local sports section, and you opened it up and you saw the list of the entire American League and entire National League and what the batting averages were. And if you looked at it in the late 70s, the Pirates at the time had a backup shortstop, Mario Mendoza, and he was always hitting below 200, so he was way at the bottom of the batting averages. And so George Brett one time commented that he was struggling along, and if he didn't watch out, he might fall below the Mendoza line, meaning he might start hitting under 200, which was never going to happen with a great hitter like George Brett. So that's where the term Mendoza line came from. And so I would suppose during his baseball career, at least 1 or 2 people have quipped about that, and will continue to as he continues on. He looks like a guy who's going to play a lot of baseball in his future, and he takes right there to work the count forward 3 and 2. Are you familiar with the old Sunday batting averages?
I didn't want to ruin your story. I was way too familiar with the Mendoza line because I was always worrying about being right near it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I wanted to let you get the story out, but
so you too were in peril of falling below the Mendoza line. Let's see if Wilkie or Cromwell have a chance at this one. It'll get out of play.
everyone's eventually going to fall below the Mendoza line.
Yeah.
You just have to play baseball long enough, and you'll be there. You see great hitters struggle, and just trying to stay consistent for a long period of time is challenging.
And you think about it, in the way things have kind of gone with baseball, as it's become in many respects on many levels, it's kind of an all or nothing thing, either a home run or a strikeout. And so, and with launch angles now being a big deal, you're going to see where, as in the old days, the league average was usually 255, 260 in the majors, but now, and a good hitter was considered, a 270, 275, 280 hitter. Now, it's completely acceptable to be a 235, 240 hitter, but as long as you're delivering the bombs, and with close to 100 strikeouts or more in a season, you're still considered a pretty good hitter. There's a strikeout recorded by Gilliam, and that is the 5th he has now been able to get in 2 2/3 innings of work, and he blows it right by him after a long at bat by Mendoza. Second time tonight the Florida State third baseman has gone down on strikes.
And you see Riley locating at the top of the strike zone, right around the letters of the Florida State hitters, and guys are really good when they can pitch up in the zone, especially with his arm angle. He has a short, quick arm. And one of the things that I think was probably he was searching for at the beginning of the season, it seems like he settled in and getting a lot of guys to swing through his fastball.
One and one the count on Nick Durr. Struck out his last time up. That was in the 10th as we play here in the 12th. And of course, the backstory, the side story, if you will, on this game is the fact that Mike Martin, the Florida State head coach, with one more win becomes the winningest in college baseball history, but not if his guys keep doing that. A called third strike that time. So now 3 consecutive batters struck out by Riley Gilliam. And since he came on in the 9th, he has recorded 6. Here's Salvatore. And the shortstop 0 for 4 in the night with a walk.
And it's turned into a pitching duel late in this game. Both pitchers settling in.
And it was a pitcher's duel early on. First 5 innings popped out of play. And frankly, a 2-2 game, you see that, you probably think pitcher's duel anyway. I mean,
well, Florida State does have 14 hits.
They do.
They're just unable to capitalize with guys in scoring position.
And that one stays out of the zone. 2-14-0 for the Seminoles. 2-5-0 for the Tigers. 3-1 though the count on the junior shortstop Salvatore. And a 2-out walk, second straight time he's reached via a free pass. They went all the way to the 10th inning tonight without drawing a walk, but that is the 3rd base on balls issued by Tigers pitching and by Gilliam, and he's also hit a batter. So on the season they now have 288 walks as a team, their nation leading total. And this their 46th game. Rafael Bornegal almost feels like he's played a full game. The DH who came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning. And now he is up there for a 4th time. Hit a soft liner to the shortstop Davidson his last time up. That was in the 10th inning with men on first and second and 2 out. And the runner going. Wilkie's throw down and safe. A tag applied by Davidson. Gilliam and Wilkie both want the Tigers to take a look. If it stands, Salvatore, their top base stealer, will have his 9th theft of the year in 11 attempts.
And a bang-bang play at second base. It looks like they got him with Davidson tagging him on the left elbow.
I thought it was
pretty clear.
Obvious.
Yeah.
But perhaps maybe the left hand got in there before the glove made contact. I'm not so sure that's the best angle to look at it right there.
Right
the other angle is a little bit better.
Unless he hit the ground.
Although, yeah, that was a very good angle, as it turns out. Wow.
If he got the glove on the elbow.
Davidson is last.
Pitcher settling in. The left elbow.
I thought it was
pretty clear.
Obvious.
Yeah.
But perhaps maybe the left hand got in there before the glove made contact. I'm not so sure that's the best angle to look at it right there.
Right
the other angle is a little bit better.
Unless he hit the ground.
Although, yeah, that was a very good angle, as it turns out. Wow.
If he got the glove on the elbow, or was it on the ground in front of the elbow, I guess would be the only only question.
It'd be better to see it if we could. We had an angle from the
other
first base side,
yeah.
but that angle actually proves to be a pretty good one.
His hand's down in time. The question is he touching him or is he touching the ground?
Might have been touching dirt right there, and maybe I just don't know if there was contact. And he didn't bring contact. The umpire is standing just to the right, and you see he's got the better angle to see. I don't know if he ever made contact before the hand touched the bag. And so we await the word, but Salvatore, the guy you want to put on base because he does have good speed. And once again, will it be a situation that there's enough evidence to overturn? And again, from that angle, and again, the fact that Davidson kind of rides along with him, it almost looks like he's reaching to still make the tag. Whereas if he tagged him, you'd have thought he'd have made the quick tag and get up, because again, you might be telling the umpire, no, I haven't gotten him yet. I'm following him all the way to the bag.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough call regardless. It's definitely in Florida State's benefit that he was called safe initially.
Yes. Let's see. From that angle, I don't know that they'll have enough video just because of the right foot initially of Davidson. And it looks like right there, he didn't have the contact until the left hand was on the bag. And that's why the second base umpire, Morris Hodges, called it the way he did. And we do believe that call is going to stand, or at least the call will be confirmed as we await the signal. Well, originally we were told that they were confirmed the call, and now we've been told from downstairs we were told the wrong thing. He's going to be called out. That's news from the future, and now it is seen by the crowd here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. So, second straight time in the ball game that Kyle Wilkie throws out a runner trying to steal second base, getting Salvatore to end things in the top half of the 12th. So we go to the bottom of the 12th inning in a 2-2 game. Reason why I shouldn't be going to. Yes. A 2-2 game in which the scoring has been pretty much consolidated in just a very short 2-inning span. A pitcher's duel indeed, as the Tigers now are playing their longest game of the year as we go to the 13th. Florida State long ago reached that point, each team playing its 4th extra innings game. Cal Raleigh driving in his first baseman, Red Applin, in the 6th inning with the first run of the game, and then to lead off the 7th, Reese Albert unloading on that pitch from Ryan Miller for his 4th homer of the year is 2-0 Florida State. Bottom half of the 7th, though, the Tigers able to get a sacrifice fly out of Drew Wharton. That got Chris Williams home. The Tigers loaded the bases on the benefit of walks. And then a leadoff double by Jordan Green in the 8th was followed by the single to center field by Logan Davidson. Green hustling around to score the 2nd run that tied it up. And now we head to the 13th inning. You know, Mike Martin's been coaching a long time. It's his 39th year as the head coach of Florida State. The Tigers trying to make it difficult on him to get a record victory, a 1,976 that would make him the winningest coach in all of college baseball. Rafael Bornegal, who was at the plate when Wilkie was able to gun down Mike Salvatore down the 12th. So Bornegal back in there, and he looks at ball 1. Riley Gilliam. This has been a nice performance out of the pen for the Tigers junior closer.
He's going to throw more pitches than Hennessy.
That's right, than the starter Hennessy, seemingly. And in fact, just looking things over now, coming on and getting a final out in the 9th, and now pitching here in the 13th. So 3 1/3 turned in so far by Gilliam, and by far this is his longest outing of the year. His previous longest outing was when he went 2 2/3. The Tigers' victory at Wake Forest on the 22nd. In the air to right, way up there, but Beer with the beat on it, and that's the first out here in the 13th for Florida State. Brings up Albert, who was caught looking by Gilliam his last time up a couple of innings ago, and as a result, that was the first time tonight that he did not reach base via a hit. 4 out of 5 in the night, 3 singles to go with that home run in the 7th. And as is the occupational hazard when extra innings add up, I am running out of room on my scorecard.
So you got to go new school with the computer.
Yeah, I really should. And you know, really philosophically, I have no reason why I shouldn't be going new school. And in fact, I'm going to make an adjustment here late in the game and do just that. But I really should. But I also have I do have a very concrete belief that baseball is to be scored using a scorebook and a pencil, and that looked easy enough against the 9th place hitter in the order. As for a second straight time, Gilliam strikes out Albert. That time he blows him away on 3 pitches.
And the fastball up in the zone has been really effective for Riley. He's staying right around those letters. It's tough for these Florida State hitters to catch up.
7 strikeout recorded by Gilliam. And again, it has happened in 3 and 4 full innings of work, but pretty good ratio right there. Top of the order, Stephen Wells. He has had a tough night taking the collars so far, 0 for 5, and Gilliam getting ahead of him, 1 and 2. And this one ripped to left, high and deep. Wharton back. He's going to watch it sail out of here. A 1-2 pitch. And Stephen Wells hitting his 5th home run of the season. And Florida State moves in front, 3-2.
And a big home run from Wells. He cheats on this fastball that Riley's been getting a lot of swings on, up in the zone. Gets his barrel out in front, hits it a long way out into the bleachers in left field.
And in the ebb and flow of this game, it should be noted it was Stephen Wells who threw out Wilkie trying to score on a fly ball to right earlier in the contest, denying the Tigers a run, and saving that run helped Florida State get this game to extra innings. That home run might have provided the margin needed for that man to become the winningest coach in college baseball history. Here is Luke. Reached on a hit by pitch the last time he was up. When Applin had a blooper into right overturned for a base hit, it put Luke on second. I believe Mike Martin argued that Luke should have been given third, but it didn't matter because Raleigh was then caught looking to end the inning. So Riley Gilliam has been so impressive here in extra innings, and he'll be the first to tell you he picked an inopportune time to allow his first home run of the season.
And he was cruising until then. Just a fastball up in the zone, and Wells just got started super early, was able to drive that ball out of the ballpark.
And Wilkie will return behind the plate. The Raleigh hats amassing. In the Florida State dugout.
And you have to think it's in Monty's mind that this is probably Riley's last hitter with the 88 pitch count, and the lead vanished.
So Wells with that home run. Now 1 for 7 on the night. I think I might have said he was 0 for 5. It was actually 0 for 6 before that at bat. But on a night where a guy who was hitting 282 coming in saw his average plunge, that home run will certainly erase a lot of the pain if Florida State's able to close the deal here. Tigers, of course, still have another opportunity. And Clemson will have the top of the order due up in their half of the 13th. Payoff pitch. And it's ball 4, so Luke a 2-out base runner.
It looks like Wilkie got crossed up, and that'll probably be the end of the day for Riley.
And Monty Lee will make the pitching change. William will get a good hand because he did have a very solid outing, an extended outing. I'll tell you about the Tiger reliever coming on, Matt Clark, when we return.